Bills quarterback Josh Allen in yesterday to talk about Keon Coleman. He wasn't there just to talk about Keon Coleman. He did talk about Keon Coleman, asked about the Bills' soon-to-be second-year receiver. Jeremy and Joe. No Joe today. He's out. We've got you covered on this nice warming-up Wednesday. A warming-up Wednesday. It is 38, but it's going to go up to 68. Mostly sunny today, so, if you can find something to do outside, that's great. Coleman, where's everybody on Coleman? Let's talk about that for a little while. 803-0550. The way I would say it on Coleman is I wish I felt if you had said a year ago, hey, the Bills are going to draft Keon Coleman. Like, all right, that's fine. Let's see how this goes. Wide receiver train, baby. Choo-choo, right? I wish I felt a little better about him than I do. And that doesn't mean I feel bad. But that's my way to say it. I just wish I felt a little better about it. Allen talking about he's only 21. He's got a long way to go. That's all totally in bounds. And I might be guilty of overdoing it, but I certainly don't. Well, maybe I am guilty of it, but I feel like it should be this way, where my Bills' goals don't involve necessarily individual player development. Oh, give him time. I feel like I don't have time. I feel like what I want is immediate impact players. And, of course, I want ceiling guys and guys that are going to be great. But with Coleman, I just don't love that I heard what I heard from the Bills. And that really is it, that McDermott and Beane both were so open about their disappointment in him in the second half. To me, that's so strange, and it still sits with me as, man, the coach and the GM multiple times talked about how they were disappointed in the way he returned from injury. And whether that's the way he played with physicality, that he thought he was just going to come back from injury and be good to go. And Sal's pointed this out. He had not dealt with a big injury before. So Coleman is learning. I give Coleman on a level. I give him understanding. I give him some grace here, and I am not out on this player. I just wish I felt a little better about it. Because as we sit here on the eve of the draft, the morning before the draft, last year felt like the time to get the future receiver/receivers of the Buffalo Bills for Josh Allen, and their pick was Coleman, who we knew, there are going to be some limitations. There are some strengths. There's some weaknesses. It's not a perfect prospect. We know that. But, what can he grow into? What can he show you that he is? And it's almost a little bit of a function of the whole everybody eats mantra where, man, I wish we had a couple more games where he was fed more. Because, I don't know, when you watch Coleman and the way he plays, doesn't he strike you as the kind of player that might be like a running back where you say the more touches he gets, the stronger he gets? Coleman is probably going to be a guy that is a part of the offense that can succeed in the ways he succeeds. But I'm just feeling like I wish I felt better about it without saying I feel bad about it. 803-0550. Will it affect the way that they draft a receiver this year, how desperately they think they need it? Beane earlier in the offseason said he didn't think it was a need. I mean, 2 guys left and 1 guy came in, so they're down a number. Now I've got, whether it's Curtis Samuel or Coleman, or now it's Josh Palmer in the mix there as well. I've got options, but it's not that different than last year. And last year, you got 4 games into the season and had to make an adjustment. Coleman is one of the guys they drafted for explosive plays. He gave them some. He definitely did. He made some impressive catches. He made some big plays. Early part of the season, he was flashing. That injury happens, and he came back, and I would agree. The experience of his first year was seeing, he was not super impressive after the injury. I don't know that I would have thought I was concerned about it until the Bills were. Because, again, like for the Bills to have said that publicly is the biggest part of it. It's not that they were concerned. If that was reported by Adam Schefter or reported by Daniel Jeremiah to me, you'd say like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But the fact that they came out and said it so publicly it's just so noteworthy. He's young. He's ready to go. maybe the whole idea for them is this is going to motivate them. This is going to get them on the right track. And that might be right. Might have been able to do that without saying it publicly. So I'm just, one more time, I wish I felt better about it. 803-0550. Palmer, Coleman, Shakir, Samuel. It looks like last year's team. And Allen wore an everybody eats hat. So looks like everybody eats is here to stay. It'll be the thing that I'm going to let it go to a point because I just think it's a slogan. Beane even said something to that effect yesterday. He said about everybody eats, about the mantra everybody eats, he said it's a nice motto, it's a nice concept. Let me get the direct quote of what he said here. Because McDermott last year said, when he was talking about everybody eats, he said everybody eats or whatever. Just whatever they came up with. That's a Brady and Josh thing. That Brady and Josh kind of came up with that, and that's their mantra. And that's great. That's fine. To me, I'm going to start treating it the same way that I would treat do your 1/11th. Like it's a saying from the coach. And it drives home that you're a part of a team, right? Fundamentals are important. You know, coaches say a lot of things. And everybody eats is a bit of coach speak. Beane said yesterday that it would not affect what they would do in the draft. And, of course, I don't know how it would or why it would. That if they think there's somebody valuable that they can get in here to make a difference, then, of course, you know, they're going to try to do that. He said, good motto / in concept, but it doesn't impact how they draft any wide receivers if they feel they can be valuable to the team, which, I mean, that makes sense. 803-0550. Big year for Coleman, big year for Kincaid. And Beane's reputation's on the line, I think, with both those guys. They've added 2 pass catchers to try to help Allen. And, you know, the whole organization runs through, are you helping Josh Allen? That's why when the defense falters, fans get on McDermott and the defense because, like, Josh Allen needs your help. You've got to do your job because he's doing his. And the same is true of the weapons they give him and the offensive line and that everybody. Are you helping this freakishly good player? And Kincaid and Coleman have shown flashes, and both of them will be in for, I think, I mean, I'm not going to predict big years, but we're looking for something more out of them. We're looking for more production. And that's where the whole everybody eats on a hat. It's nice on a hat, but Beane's going to want Kincaid and Beane's going to want Coleman to put up numbers that represent them being worth their draft status and worth the players we think they are. And you can't really get to the ceiling unless you get the targets. You can't become an all-pro first receiver or an all-pro tight end without being a focal point, without getting the ball. And I hope to see both of them get a lot more. We went through the numbers on Kincaid versus Trey McBride. And while McBride is a, incredible pass-catching tight end, his numbers against Kincaid, they were not that different. It was just a lot of it was usage and getting him the ball. Can the Bills find a way to dig into that a little bit more? They most certainly can.